What's happening, guys?
Yeah.
It's just another morning.
Glad to be back, dude.
Jacob, where you been? What happened?
Had neck surgery.
Man.
Yeah. And the neck doesn't hurt anymore. It's just the shoulder, like I was telling y'all.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird.
You become RoboCop soon. Just
I think so. I
just
got
put
the
metal
eye.
everywhere. Yeah.
You know, I got that bionic eye too, man.
I didn't know that.
I do got an implant that glares.
Really?
Yeah,
I
my
didn't
left
know.
eye. You'll catch it at some point.
Hold on. Wait a minute. You've got to tell us about that.
It's an implant. It's not a transplant. A lot of people always think I've got like somebody else's eye, but
Or like a pig's eye or something?
Yeah. They're trying that now, I think, right?
Yeah.
No, it's just like a fake lens in the back.
Yeah.
That's what they do. So, yeah.
I heard
It's
that
kinda
people
neat.
that get that and that they quit eating bacon.
Yeah.
I don't know if
quit.
that's true or not.
I did. I quit.
They get the pig implant?
Are they doing eyeballs? They're not doing eyes.
Are
though,
they?
Surely, right? But they was trying kidneys, bladder. When they trying some of
they're
that stuff.
growing stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
about
so they're
the guy-
growing like new organs based off of pig DNA.
Weird. Why pig? Is it just it's
pig,
close?
Yeah, it's close to the human body.
Oh man, I want to pig something.
I don't know that I would be able to keep going on knowing something was in me that was a pig's.
What if you could get a tail?
But I don't-
Would you get one?
Well, what do you think about the genetically grown meat?
Genetically grown meat.
You not seen some of it? So like now it's organic meat because it's natural and
It's so not natural.
Well, I know that, but
Yeah,
they got to put that out there
cannot
because
be
of all
natural.
the. Yeah, I mean they crossbreed or they. I don't know. I'm just.
Would you eat that, Brian?
Oh, absolutely not.
You're out on it,
No, I'm completely out on it.
Jacob.
Chitlins.
You don't eat chitlins,
I
do
ain't
you?
going to eat them either.
Do you eat chitlins?
No way.
Man, they will stink up a kitchen fast.
Have you ate?
I mean, who
Yeah.
said this is going to be good? I mean, who said let's take these intestines, clean them out?
Well, what's
And-
worse, chitlins or collard greens? They
I love
both
collard
stink up a
greens,
kitchen.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
collard greens.
I'll eat some collard greens.
Me too.
Yeah. Okay, we're here with Brian Bostick, former Alabama kicker. What's going on, dude?
Hey, I'm just having a good time, hoping to understand what's going on in Coleman today.
Yeah. Hey, we're trying to figure that out too. You've done a lot of stuff since your football days. You've been around a little bit. Where all have you been?
So I've spent 15 years in Montgomery, 7 years in Madison, and had a good time doing both.
You do a lot of engineering and stuff, don't you?
I do. So pretty much just all over the country. Have been doing everything from defense contracting to the electric vehicle market.
Man, when you were telling me some of the stuff you're doing, I was like, "What are you, Jason Bourne? Man, you've done some cool stuff. Like, are you a spy? I mean, you've done some. Brian's worked on a lot of cool projects, so I don't know how much of it he can say or not say, but it's been pretty cool. But I'm curious a little bit. Back in the day, I heard AJ McCarron recently on a podcast talk about some stuff that happened in the locker room with the kickers. Did you ever have any issues with that? Anything in the locker room?
No, we never had anything. We always had a really good relationship because they knew if they messed with me, there were going to be a few other big guys that would come mess with them. And so I always had Wesley Britt and the crew there that I was very good friends with. And if they would have done something like that, the quarterbacks would have had to pay.
There would have been some issues. Huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always good to have the big guys on your side.
The big
kickers,
guys.
yeah.
Yes,
I wouldn't want to be picking on the kicker. I don't want to get kicked. You know?
Well, did you hear what he said? They were like taking dumps in the kicker's shoes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it was interesting.
I'm like,
Yeah, he also said they had some issues with people stealing jerseys and helmets and that kind of thing.
That always happens, and I
Really?
don't know
Even
where
when
they
you were
came
there?
from. I think the equipment managers, so those guys don't get paid anything. So the equipment managers that are volunteers, they're like students. They might just grab a jersey and like rip it away or a helmet and throw it up on eBay and be like, "Hey, this is a game worn," and then, I mean, that's part of their income, and I think that that goes into the whole piece of college football that everybody wants a piece of it.
Do you think can I go on eBay right now and find like a Brian Bostick jersey? Is it out there?
I think those have probably all gone by the wayside, but
His dad bought them all.
there's probably like some little kids in Africa right now that are wearing those.
They circulate, huh?
Yes.
That'd be fun to see,
Yeah.
Cool, man. Did you have a favorite memory playing football?
Playing football. So my favorite memory, and since Jared is here, we were in middle school. I was playing.
You're going way back.
Yes, I'm going way back.
Coleman Middle School.
Yeah, just because Jared's here, I want to bring this one up.
Walker.
It could have been. Yes, I think it is. So when we played them, I was playing left end because, I look like a left end. And they were running a sweep. I went and got I basically picked off the pitch, ran it back for a touchdown, and this guy had a block in the back or a hole.
Oh,
Cold
you're kidding
Springs.
me.
Cold Springs?
It was Cold Springs.
It got called back because of Jared?
Called back because
Yeah.
of Jared.
Wow.
Well, the guy was standing there, and I hit him in the back. I did, and I think I turned around and scored the touchdown.
I think you did the next
We got
play.
the ball. Yeah, I think the next play we ran the ball and I scored a touchdown.
So you made up for it, though, I guess.
No, he did not
But I
make up
took it
for
from him, though. The same thing happened my first high school touchdown. I took it from Andy Williams. But I wasn't out there. I think it was either Matt Hopper or Jay Hassenbein. One of them blocked somebody in the back, and he had run it in for a touchdown. They brought it back, and then I ran it in for a touchdown. That was my first high school
Do you
touchdown.
see what Jared just did here, too? We were talking about your good memory, and he just
brings it
stole
up.
it.
Yeah, he just stole
and
this.
He just went to his touchdown.
It's all about Jared on this.
It's mine.
I know how this is going.
I still hold a grudge against this guy. He took the most athletic in our class our senior
He
year.
did. I voted for him.
Yeah, you suck.
I didn't even know that was a vote. I'm not even sure I voted. I think I skipped that day.
You weren't in school. I was there and I voted and I still
Jared was
lost.
there. Yeah. How come you didn't get it, Jared? What happened?
I don't know.
You're
Politics.
You're athletic. Jacob, did you play any
it
sports?
was politics.
Yeah, I played football.
Did you? What'd
Yeah.
you play?
I played
Waterboy.
No. Hey, at Holly Pond, if you played, you played. If you showed up, you played. Because there wasn't, but like, I think there's 21 of us. We didn't have enough to scrimmage each other. Yeah.
21.
So
Are you
gotta-
counting the cheerleaders?
I'm serious, man. We had to move up. They move up like JV linemen
To scrimmage.
to help us. Yeah. Even on Friday nights, they'd dress them out. Yeah, I'm
How
serious.
big was Holly Pond total?
We were under 1,000 students, K
Yeah.
through 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you
So
have
we were-
Did you have a lot of who was your rival? Fairview?
Yes. Yeah.
Big rivalry?
But now they don't even play. Because they
they've
changed
Oh, it's all
they
messed
changed
up.
divisions.
Coleman
Yeah.
doesn't play West Point anymore.
They're both good though. Holly Pond actually did well.
Yeah,
this
they
year
did
too.
do good this year, didn't they?
Yeah, they're played well.
So that does bring up, why do we not play West Point? Because that really is one of my favorite football memories. The first offensive play of, I think it was our senior year, was a 90-yard or 80-yard touchdown.
Really?
That got thrown to me.
Really?
See, it's all
Bring
about
it, I mean,
Brian.
it was all
He
about
is the
you. I've got to
guest,
bring it back
Jared.
to me.
So you were the kicker in college, but what all was you in high school?
So in high school, I played wide receiver, and I snapped to the punter.
Really? Okay, I did long snaps myself.
You're the long
Yeah.
snapper?
Yeah.
Yes, I was the long snapper to the punter.
I don't know how you remember all this. It's been too long. I just remember
High
the Cold
school?
Spring thing.
You don't remember what position you played?
I remember what position I played. No,
Sorta.
I don't remember. I guess what I'm saying, I don't remember him playing.
Oh,
long
you just don't
snapper.
remember Brian.
I told you I've been trying to forget about him since high school.
The only touchdown I ever scored was against Vinemont.
Really?
Senior year last game.
What happened?
could've-
What was the setup?
It was just a pass. I just ran like a little post and called it and ran it in. Yeah, no big. I ain't got no
Brian.
big. I didn't break no tackles or.
You just caught the pass.
So
Caught the pass. I was like, oh, there I
our
am.
senior year, the last game against Brewer, how long was that field goal? 50 what? You kicked? I think it's 52.
I don't even
wasn't it?
remember. I think it was probably 50 something.
What's
Coach
your-
Bates
what-
let you try it because we were already beating them pretty good.
Yeah.
And he let him come out and kick a 50-something.
What's your longest?
Longest in a game in college was 49.
Hey, that's still good.
Yeah.
49 yards.
Man.
But that
That's
was the
why-
longest I ever
49.
attempted in a game.
Yeah, that was.
So let me ask you,
attempt.
if you were kicking inside, like these domes are, can you kick it a lot further inside the dome than you can outside?
Oh yeah, the air is so much better. You don't
Yeah.
have to worry about the wind.
Yep.
There's no humidity concerns. I mean, all that stuff comes into play. So I mean, when these guys are out there, it's amazing in the NFL right now when these guys are kicking 64, 65, and they're putting them out there knowing that they're going to do that and not having a guy standing under the upright, kind of like the kick six.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was so
And
awesome.
it is a really the kicking standard has been upgraded.
Why is that though? How's it gotten?
Is it the
so-
style, like soccer style, or?
It's a matter of there is a different mindset of kickers. There's a different workout that these guys are doing. They're doing a lot more plyometrics, and they're really.
Hold on, can you go back on that?
Plyometrics.
I don't even know what plyometrics is.
Y'all, I was looking at y'all. I thought, well, y'all play football. Maybe y'all know what he's talking about.
I don't know what he's talking
well,
about.
it's stretching. It's also there's a lot of guys out there that have strong legs that don't know how to use them, and
Right.
so when you put your foot on the ball, there's a very small space. So you're looking at, we're not talking about inches. We're talking about millimeters where your actual bone hits the ball and it goes out.
Wow.
And so
That's
these guys are
interesting.
really getting precise
There's a
on what they're
science to
doing.
it.
How
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
what do you practice when you're I mean, obviously you're out there kicking, right? But I mean, do you practice the form? You know,
It
when
looks
these
like your
guys
foot would get tired after so long.
do you have like
you know?
these guys have rituals, right? Where they stand there, they move their arm, they step a few. Is that just a format,
well,
a template, or
Yeah, it's just like take like a professional golfer, because there's so many overlaps from golfing to kicking. So when you get out there, you want to be comfortable and you get in the zone, and that's what you do. And so you practice that, and it's ingrained in your head, and so you don't deviate from that. And that's why people try to like call timeouts, because they want you to deviate from your normal routine so they can catch you doing something differently.
Did
you
Saban
ever-
start that? Didn't he start that kind of?
no? That's
No,
been
that's
going
been going
on
on for a
Yeah.
while.
Because it
Yeah.
does. It's got to mess with your mind.
What would
I
you
mean,
do when they tried to ice you? Did you have any kind of routine to kind of counter?
I would go tell a joke.
Really?
I used to have almost in my head, I had like a pocket full of jokes.
Really?
I would grab my holder, and my holder was Alex Fox, who's still one of my best friends. He was one of my roommates.
Yeah.
And I would just go over to him and I'd tell him some stupid joke.
You had it lined up and ready,
Yes,
just
I
in
had
case.
it ready in the back of my head.
So humor kind of kept you out of the
Yeah,
mind.
you don't think about
getting
it.
in your head.
And you don't think about the crowd. The crowd's never bothered us. The only time that I ever laughed at somebody in a crowd was at Vanderbilt, because the crowd is all on you.
Yeah.
And there's only like
Yeah.
12 people there. So
Maybe
So they
not
kinda
now.
stood out.
yeah, they stood out. And so we were playing Vanderbilt, and we were beating the mess out of them. And so our second string offensive line just got a 3 and out. And the coach, yells at them, go sit down, in not so many words. Those were nice words.
Yeah.
And he's like, sit down, do not say a word. And then one of my friends, Max Lomax, he turns over to somebody, says something to him, and one of these kids from Vanderbilt goes, 68 is talking. I mean, so that
he was right there.
Yeah.
He knew.
What a rat.
Yeah. Man. That's interesting. So other than that, though, any memorable experiences traveling or going to any of these games and
I mean, there's so many just crazy experiences that we had. It was always fun going back and forth. I mean, just every stadium had their own unique presence to it, which was always fun.
So which one did you like the most? Outside of Alabama's, but like what stadium did you?
But believe it or not, Arkansas has an awesome stadium.
Really?
Really?
Yes.
Did you play at
haven't been there.
Arkansas, or did you do the one at?
I've never actually heard that
fairground.
either. I don't think.
No, we played at the Arkansas.
Okay.
Yeah, where they have the giant jumbotron, and
Yep.
the one thing that's intimidating about that is when you're sitting there getting ready to do a kick. You're always looking up to like make sure that you're lined up correctly, and they point the camera right at your face, and so when you look up, you see your face.
You're in the jumbotron?
Yes, you're in the jumbotron, and so that kind of
that's pretty cool.
That is
Yeah.
so they
Yeah.
could tell if
That
you're like,
would be kind of
Yeah.
nerve-wracking. You look up and you see yourself. You're like,
I've never
Yeah.
thought about that at all.
just close your eyes and try to kick it.
Yeah.
So tell me
Oh, you
this.
look
I
up.
asked a football player once what he remembered, and he was like, "Man, I just remember being hungry." and I thought he was messing with me. I was like, "What do you
How
mean?"
big was this guy?
He's a big dude.
Yeah, that's the reason why.
I mean, he was like, "Yeah, we wouldn't." He acted like they wouldn't eat for a long time before the game. Does that sound right?
Like,
or-
did like a fast or something.
yeah, I don't,
No, I mean maybe there were some guys that really were like bigger that needed more fuel, but
Yeah.
we would eat at the appropriate times. You'd wake up for, let's say, like a 2:30 game. You're up at like 6. You get breakfast, and then you do your meetings in the morning, and then you get like a little snack before the game because you don't want to be too fasted. But there's three things that you get. So when I played there, you got a baked potato, you got spaghetti, or you got some sort of salad that was like a super salad. And so they would walk
yeah,
out.
that doesn't sound like enough for this guy.
Yeah,
Probably
no,
not.
definitely not.
I
he
guess to not get your stomach upset and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
is it kind of like because those are real solid foods?
I think it's
you know?
like, I mean, it's like carbo loading, I guess.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
I'm not a nutritionist, so I just ate the spaghetti because I like spaghetti.
Brian, you are an engineer, live in Madison in the Huntsville area. What's your thoughts on the moon landing?
Here's my complete thoughts on it. I think
Didn't happen.
that we definitely did it.
We did it.
We did it
Okay.
because there were people back in the day that were extremely smart. When you look at like Warner von Braun, and these guys were working with slide rules. They weren't working with computers. These people knew math back to front. And I think computers have really kind of dumbed us down from that basic level of that. I say basic level, but the basic level of high level math. And
So do you think we've kind of lost the appreciation? Maybe?
I think so. I mean, pen and paper,
Doing the hard work.
pen and paper is always like the most incredible way to do anything in the math world. And I do this with my son. So he gets mad because he'll do these little math games on the computer that they have them do in school. But I'll pull out a piece of paper and I'll say, let me write out this problem. Now do it. And there's a different level of appreciation when you can do that, when you actually write down everything, you're working out your problems, you show your progress, and you know how you got there.
Yeah.
They made it too easy. Too.
Yeah.
Like somebody as dumb as me can get on an iPad and pull that calculator. I can ask Google.
Jacob, we can do a lot now, can't we? Like,
Yeah.
it's boosted my capabilities a lot.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's really too easy. It really
What do you
is.
think, Jacob? Are you a moon landing guy? What,
I don't think we went.
you don't think it happened?
But I'm not. It's one of those deals where it's conspiracy stuff. But I do think what he said was one of the truest things I've heard. Though that was good.
So
About
this is as much as we've always talked. But okay, my question
People would
is
have had
the
to
reason
been
why I don't
smarter.
think why have we not been back?
That's my thing.
Because now they're saying technology wise we can't make it, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Like the cost to get there, and it's like we've already been there, so why would it cost? Because I mean the pod, I forgot what do they call the thing they lived in, that pod with all the technology in it, the switches and everything,
The lander?
yeah,
Or-
whatever.
yeah.
It had less technology than this thing.
Oh, it
does.
absolutely
But
did.
yet,
It just had a bunch of switches
Yeah.
and wires in it. And they were looking at how much everything weighed. And it was a math equation that these guys worked for inside of a bubble for years. And not saying that our guys at NASA are not good. I don't want to say that at all, that they're not smart and they don't know what they're doing. But there is also a factor that we have put onto ourselves, that human life is more important necessarily than pushing forward. So these guys that went up there, look at all the guys that went up there. They were all test pilots. They were crazy. If you've ever read any stories about these guys,
I wouldn't have got in there.
No way.
There's no way that anybody would have green lighted them to go up, because there was a good chance that it was not going to happen.
Well, it's kind of like when Elon talks about his Starship. Like, he was like, yeah, I mean, the first couple crews are all going to die.
Well, but even go back to like SpaceX. That's a good example. Have they built up, and so they've gone through test run. I mean, even the first heavy lifter that they did, the Starship.
Yeah.
And so they didn't do it, and it blew up halfway to where it was supposed to go, and they were like, "That's a success." Now, NASA, when they were going in their infancy, there were guys that they ran down a rail next to a rocket that blew up, and they died in the cabin. And so I think from the exploration standpoint, people are not attuned to that risk level.
Yeah.
So what's flying over New Jersey then?
Oh, the drones. Have you been seeing that too? The drones.
What is that?
So whose
Jacob?
are they?
I don't
is
know
it?
why New Jersey.
Why? Yeah.
I think it's a bunch of stoners. I think it's a bunch of stoners.
A drone? What are they doing?
Messing with everybody.
Yeah, everybody's going up there saying, "I got
Hey,
a
I don't
drone
have
in
a
my
drone."
yeah. I can get one. I can get one off of or Amazon, and I'm going to go throw up a drone." But
They say there's a bunch of them.
no, there are. There's tons, and last night I think they were over like Newark.
Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, it's starting to get to the point where, is this going to be like a big psyop, or is it actually going to be something that turns into it is a bunch of stoners? I mean,
Just flying the drones.
I don't own a drone.
I mean, we can get you a drone.
So what do you-
We can go down to Walmart right now. We'll get you a drone, and you can fly it over Coleman. That'd be
Go peeking people's
I've
windows.
actually got a neighbor that is an engineer for NASA or whatever, and he flies his a lot, and I see it. Like, we'll see it go up. He'll go out like towards town, like Bayleton.
Yeah.
It's not like he's flying around, but it'll leave out for a little while, because in the summertime we'll be out there like sitting around out back and watch it go out. He's probably gone like 20 minutes with it before it comes back.
Picking up intel.
And he just flies around, see what's all going on.
Hey, keep an eye on Bayleton.
But he knows how to do it, like.
well.
I mean, he's pretty sharp on it.
To be able to fly some level of drone, you have to have almost a pilot's license to be able to do that
Yeah,
with the FAA. And so that's where you go back to. They've got to, at least if the FAA doesn't know who's flying these drones, somebody's flying these drones illegally. And you've got this senator who's saying
It's Iran.
It's Iran.
Iranians are doing this. You've got another senator who's saying that the Chinese are doing this because the
It's
Iranians,
stoners, man.
well, the Iranians did buy a certain level of technology from China.
Yeah, that's all.
So
Yeah.
that kind of takes me back to, could it be? It's in the realm of
It is.
possibilities.
It's Iran. They're looking for the Jersey Shore people. They're mad we took away
I've seen that, but
we
I'm
took
like,
away their show.
why there? Why there?
Yeah, why
really?
do you
That's the only
think?
thing
I don't know.
there.
I don't know. That's what's crazy to me. It's like, I could understand if it was like around Washington or like a capital or something, like just in the middle of that town.
I really think though they're going out there to find the Jersey Shore.
I mean,
Have you heard about the? I heard about there's some people making a documentary around here about the base under Smith Lake. Y'all heard that?
The what?
base?
No, like some kind
Is
of
there a base under Smith Lake?
Can't be, but there's some,
Well, there's houses.
Like an underground bunker kind of thing.
Like they're saying the reason it was built was to cover some kind of facility.
They're
down
gonna
there.
so where do you
drain
get
it
in
full
at the
on.
dam?
I don't know, but they said the test site was Sportsman Lake Park, That's why they have the railroad tracks that run through there. Have you ever seen that? They
The
said that
little
was like
beans?
the test facility.
I feel like this would be the worst place to be able to do that. I mean,
I don't know. There could
Okay,
be.
we've been here almost our whole lives, and I've never heard that.
They've done a good job.
I'm about to say they're really secretive.
You know, though, Germany probably didn't know Hitler was building all that underneath their city, right? I mean, didn't he have all those like miles of them, right? Underneath in Germany,
Could have been. I don't know.
didn't Hitler? Didn't he have like a big underground thing?
Bunkers and
yeah,
stuff.
he had
Yeah.
tons of bunkers. There's all these conspiracy theories about
And
did he
people didn't
make it
know
to
it.
Argentina.
Yeah.
I actually kind of prescribe to some of those that I think.
You think he made it out?
I think if he didn't make it out, a lot of the people made it out on the U-boats.
Yeah.
So if it could have been done back then, it could be.
It could be
done.
done. Sure.
It could be.
So there's no telling what kind
Because
of.
I remember hearing about, like, I watched this documentary about after Hitler left Germany, after
the war.
it was mainly just women, women and young kids
Because of the men died
rebuild,
fighting,
fighting, and then trying to get them back. Some of them ended up like on trains at different places, and yeah, it was pretty fascinating the way the women stepped up. But they actually didn't know Hitler had all those bunkers, and I reckon they'd been there for a
So
long time.
there's no telling what's under Smith Lake, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Jacob.
There could be people could have them. I guess I don't know.
Well, it's,
Spaceships.
makes me
who
want to go
knows?
look now.
Yeah.
Lived there all my life. Well, I lived on. I mean,
Well,
you
I
pretty
used
much
to
lived
fish
on the
a
lake
lot.
all summer.
Did you
every
ever
summer.
see anything weird?
No.
Anything suspect?
And the deeper you go, the less you're able to see, like through your
Right,
fish
so
finders and stuff.
it would
So
make
you
sense.
You probably never would see. I don't know in the last.
Well, they left the
5
houses.
years.
Some of the houses there.
Oh,
'Cause,
yeah,
I mean,
there's-
my dad
there's
told me
houses,
about
trees,
that. Yeah.
everything
I mean, there's
filled
a
up too
lot
quick
of
or
junk. So, so they're saying they filled it up. Like, was it the base there? Then they filled it up
Right, to hide it.
to hide it.
Right.
So
right.
we just flooded a base.
on top of or camouflaged
our-
the base.
so our
didn't-
base
Oh, they're
would
saying
be-
the base
so
is
it's-
still
it's
there.
still
Yeah,
there?
yeah,
it's
still
under
there.
Smith Lakes. What they're saying,
Underneath
right?
is what
Yeah.
they're saying. Yeah.
So I need to go out and I'll take the boat out one night and we can do some.
We
like,
need to do some investigation
recon.
on this.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to start at the dam because it's got to be somewhere near the dam. I mean, they're like,
That would make sense.
Maybe in
I'm
the
fascinated by
dam?
this though.
I've
that
never
right?
seen 300 foot deep either. They always talk about 300 feet. I've seen like close to 200 there.
What
but
do
I've
you
never
mean? You
seen-
do scuba diving?
I've seen
or-
300.
No, I'm talking about like running in the boat. They say that, but it's not actually at the dam, though, is it?
No, it's
the
not.
deepest points are not.
No, there's 300 feet, quite a few places.
Really?
See, I've never.
We need to do some
Awesome.
investigation.
Which I would never fish that. You know what I mean?
No,
So
I mean, what are
just-
you
Why
going to
not?
do? Troll for like something?
I heard there's catfish down there as big as sharks.
Yeah.
That's Gunnersville.
I have heard the story where when they had to do work on the dam and they had to drain it a little
Yep.
bit, that they pulled up catfish as big as like VW, like bugs.
Yeah, Volkswagen.
Yeah.
See, it's
Well,
that
when they took the-
radioactivity
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever from the
Yeah, from the base.
From the base. Because it's got to get power from something. Well,
That's right.
We can get the power from the dam.
hydroelectric.
Yeah. So that's why
No,
they,
it's not. It's not. It's nuclear.
Well,
Apparently, it's nuclear based
nuclear.
on Michael's comment.
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm just, this is all hearsay.
Well, you're supposed to be the expert on it.
No, I just heard.
You're the one who brought it up. You know the most about this.
Please tell me they got Captain D's down there.
Michael will only go if you get Captain D's.
Man, I'll tell you what, we had it the other night.
I
I'm
did
gonna
too,
ha-
man. It was good.
Yeah, they. It was pretty good, but they kind of. I got gypped a little bit. We got these. They have the grouper flounder fillets going
see, I
now.
know.
That's the thing they're pushing, and me and my wife got the same thing, and she got these big, nice fillet pieces. And I had these like 3 little like chicken finger looking things. I'm like, did I get the right thing or?
That's shrinkflation.
That's it.
Did you go back and tell them you
like
committed
that.
a whole podcast to them?
I know, right?
It's like, don't rip me off, dude. Give me
Like
some
it
extra
works. I was
cracklings.
supposed to get an extra piece.
Yes. I was looking for that whole fillet, man. No.
Those cracklings at the bottom too. They always give you that little bed of cracklings.
Yeah.
Oh, those are the best.
They are.
Especially when you put them in the tartar sauce. Just
Oh my
And
amazing.
you're
You could
done.
almost-
You're already done.
You
You're
could almost
you're
like
just so
take those
snacking.
and put those in the tartar sauce and then eat it with a fork.
That's exactly right. Brian knows Captain D's. I can appreciate that.
Another Captain D's guy.
Who isn't?
I'm not.
Tell me a better fast food restaurant
Taco
that
Bell.
serves seafood.
There's
than
yeah,
seafood.
seafood.
Yeah.
I don't think there is another fast
Long
food.
John Silver. That's the only one I can think
I
of.
haven't even seen a Long John Silver. Where's one?
They're
They
gone.
don't have
There's a
it.
reason
They are
for that.
I think there's a
Hey,
couple more.
don't they sell catfish at Popeye Chicken?
Oh, I bet they do.
They're probably
Do
pretty
they?
good.
I don't
Popeye's
know that they
chicken's
do.
good.
Now-
I'm wrong about a lot of stuff, so I mean,
Red
I'm
beans
more
and
than
rice.
likely
Yeah, the
wrong.
red
than
beans and
right.
rice.
Now
Yes, that
Popeye's
is-
chicken, don't discount them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
when
no, I
you
love
get
the
down there,
chicken.
the red beans and rice,
Yeah.
you get the, especially when you get to like the Mardi Gras time, that's the time to go.
Oh, yes,
That is the
yes.
time to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Y'all make me hungry.
I was going to, earlier I got to wondering about this because this was a recent conversation talking about how nervous you would have to be like being a kicker whenever you have like 3 seconds left and you're losing by 2. And it's like
That'd be
all
bad.
on you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how bad is that stress? Like, do you really think about it like that? Or you think like you're just going out there to kick another one? Because I have so many, like, you think about it, man, especially like Saban calls like 2 timeouts on them, or something. Then they have to go to the sideline and everything, come back, regroup. And I don't know. I would think that would have to be the most nervous job would be
It's
the kicker.
got to be, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, though, the most nervous job is the guy snapping the ball.
True. Yeah.
That to me
The
would
one
be the
holding,
most.
too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because when you look at like a kicker, all we do is the same thing.
Yeah.
You don't think about it, and that's the part of it is you kind of put that stuff out of your mind, and there's a mindset that goes into that, and I don't think I'm any. Well, I know I'm not better than most guys, but that is the mindset that you have to have is just put everything in the back of your mind. There's no crowd, there's no anything. There's just like the job that you go out there to do.
They'd have to take, that's the special
And what he's saying is,
because I would be a nervous wreck.
if a kicker misses, it was probably the snapper or the holder screwed it all up.
Oh,
and
you ever
got
kicked the
all the
holder's
timing
hand?
off, and it just screwed everything up. So don't
many
blame the
hands?
kicker, anybody.
How many hands have you kicked?
How many hands have I kicked?
Yeah, like kicked their
I've
finger.
never kicked a finger.
Really?
No, never.
Wow.
Never. I've never done, and I've never done a Charlie Brown either. I've never had anybody pull the ball on me.
Kicked him right in the nuts.
I forgot about that clip.
No, but
You ever tried to kick a field goal?
I've tried, yeah.
I can't get it off the
No,
ground.
it's hard.
Well, middle school, your first year, Coach Miller let everybody just kind
Lines
of do
everybody
whatever,
up.
like punters and everything. And I tried kicking, and then Brian kicked, and it was like, all right, I lost.
There you go. Which is why that's why he got most athletic.
Oh yeah, shut up. Because he can kick.
But I have tried it several times, and I mean it's tough, man.
It's
trying
hard.
to get it off the ground.
It's
Yes.
hard.
well, I think that's that on not Sports Center, but Game Day, where they do. Pat
yeah.
McAfee's got his little thing
Yeah.
where he does the, it's not hard to be a kicker, and these guys are winning $100,000 or whatever. My son every Saturday, because he loves to watch that piece, he's like, Dad, you could have won $100,000.
Oh,
And I was like, yeah, but I got a college education. And then he looks at me and he goes, but.
Could have won $100,000.
I was supposed to say it's a good idea.
yeah. Can we get? Yeah, we can get
It's
Brian
only the
in there.
students, isn't it?
I think they do pull from students.
Yeah, they.
I mean, I could always go back to school. I mean, maybe.
We need to do that. Just enroll you that week.
Yes.
And
Get you in
try to
there.
get you in there.
Yeah.
Heck yes.
That'd be
That's
pretty
funding.
funny, actually.
Yes, it would.
Get Brian
Yeah,
Bostick in
they get him up
the
there and they got him
McAfee.
about 20 yards out and he kicks it like out of the stadium.
Yeah, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
What's going on? We got gypped.
You probably
I bet you there's a clause if you read that contract. It says if you've kicked or something for,
Probably, yeah.
yeah, you can't be.
he's probably about. Is he? Our
Has anybody
age?
made
Did
it
you-
yet?
Did he play at the same
Pat
time
McAfee?
as you?
I think
Is he a little
he's
older?
Probably. I think he's a little bit older, but about in that same time frame.
Yeah.
But talk about a cool guy.
Right.
Like, I mean, the stuff that he did after, I think he's a pretty crazy guy.
Oh
But
yeah,
you
he's,
gotta-
he's
you-
loony.
You have to
he is.
love like the passion that he has for things.
Yeah.
But the stuff that he did and still does for like community service and things like that. I mean, he is
Does
a
he do
really
a lot?
awesome
And
guy.
he's got
does
some
a
of the
lot.
greatest hits in NFL history.
Oh, he's
That
he's
son of a
solid
gun
guy.
would sprint and destroy the kickoff guy if he wasn't ready.
He was a
Yeah.
punter, right?
Yeah,
Punter.
he was a punter, and he made a lot of tackles. And I think he's also, as a punter, he's thrown more first downs or something than any punter ever like fakes.
Probably something like that. I mean, he's a very athletic guy.
Yeah,
Well, if you had a guy that could throw and kick like that,
yeah. I mean, he was awesome.
We'll have to
Stick
invite
him
him
at
to the
quarterback.
show.
Yeah, we'll see if
Yeah,
we can
yeah.
get him
When
on.
he come down.
We don't want to go on his podcast. I mean,
You know,
he only has like 50 million people watching it. We you know,
yeah.
our 5 is just enough.
Brian said that Theo Von went to Alabama while we were there.
Really?
That's right. So I think Theo Von went in probably 1998, 1999. I'm a little gray on
Okay.
the numbers, but then he did Road Rules, right? So he
Yes.
got a little bit famous. Came back one day. We were in Pepitos. I don't know if you guys remember Pepitos on the
Yeah, on the
strip.
strip, yeah.
And so we were on Pepitos on the strip, my roommate and I, and we see him sitting in a booth. And so instead of going to approach him like normal people would go approach him, we ran back to our apartment because we were, I mean, probably half a mile away or so. Ran back to our apartment, and this is how long ago it was. We didn't have cell phones. And so we get our landline, and we call Pepitos. And we're like, hey, there's a guy sitting in this booth that looks like this, and he's our friend. We want to talk to him. And so they give him the phone.
Really?
Wait,
Yes.
hold on.
We've got to get Theo Von.
We've got to back up a little bit. Hold
We've got
on.
to get Theo
So you
Von
were
on this.
in there with him
We were in there with him.
and then left.
Ran home.
to call.
Y'all were scared
Yes.
to talk to him?
No, we wanted to mess with him. I mean, this was like on $2 margarita night.
Yeah,
We've got to tag Theo Von in
yeah,
this, man.
yeah. That's
Yes.
funny. So
That's
you go
great.
back
And
to
so
your
we-
apartment and call the place you were
Call
just
the
at
place.
to talk to him.
Yes.
Talk to him.
And so we call, and he picks up. And, we're calling. We're like, hey, there's a guy that looks like this, and he's our friend. We need to talk to him and tell him something. And so they bring the phone over to him. And he picks up the phone. And he's like, hey, and we're like, is this Theo? He's like, yeah. And we're just start yelling Theo.
Oh man!
I mean,
Can you?
we're like, Theo.
I think that's when you know you're famous. People just bring you telephones first
Yeah.
off, right? A phone shows up and you pick up and they just start yelling your name.
You would have thought the people at the restaurant probably would have recognized him too. They would have been like, "Oh, that's
Yeah.
Theo Von." You know?
So I think we were like the first friends only or whatever with Theo Von.
This is not.
that is too funny. You know,
You
I
ran
never,
half a mile just to
Or
yell
we did.
Theo
We
at
did.
him.
I think
It's
You
so
can
just.
you can get Rob Chambers at some point needs to come on here.
Ah,
verify this
Rob,
story.
it was Rob Chambers. There,
Okay.
too?
No, he was my
That is
roommate.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
because
so
I think he's 43 or something, 43 or 44. I think.
Yeah.
Well, he's
yes,
our age.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's right in that neighborhood
Yeah.
because
That's hilarious.
he was there.
Yeah. Huh.
That's
And,
interesting.
and
good.
he's like, "Who is this?"
You
And
know,
we're
that's
like,
got to be a good
Theo.
That's y'all just kept saying Theo.
prank. You got to think too. That's a good prank on him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, like you got him.
You got the
You got
jokester.
him.
Yeah.
Oh man.
You pranked the prankster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I think it's pretty cool.
I like that.
He's 44.
I don't think we were thinking
44.
through it all the way.
Really?
So y'all go in,
Yeah.
I just imagining like, hey, come on.
Yeah.
Like, who was it? It was like,
What?
I got
Yeah,
this
they
idea.
sat there for 15 minutes in the booth going, so what we should do
And
is
it-
run a half a mile
It would have been better
and call
too
him and just yell Theo at him.
if one of y'all would have stayed to see his reaction.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been, in this day and age, somebody would have sat there with like a cell phone.
Yeah, I
and
know.
like, I got him. I got
Right.
him.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. That's
That
pretty
is-
good.
That is.
You know what? We need to recreate that. We need to see if we can get in
Hey,
touch
and
with
you
him
could be Theo.
Yes.
and just say,
You can act as
And
Theo.
it could be
You're
like,
gonna
hey,
stand
this
in
is
for
Brian
Theo.
Bostick. And I wanted to talk to Theo.
I've been trying to reach you for 30 years now.
Yeah. I've been trying to reconnect. You didn't give me the answer I was looking for.
What did they call that on Craigslist? Misconnections?
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
funny.
those? Have you ever read those misconnections?
Those are great.
Yeah.
Jacob, do you know what that is?
No.
Jared?
I always
No.
agree with everything.
Okay,
You could be
back-
talking about something like,
Oh, you're like,
I'm-
yeah.
oh, yeah.
I do that too. I just like,
I'm
have
like,
you
I know a lot about atoms and neutrons.
Yes. Yeah. So back a long time ago, they had on Craigslist a section, which was Craigslist was just a website with anybody, kind of a community website. You could go on and post things.
Until people started killing people.
Well,
So,
yeah.
crazy stuff.
And misconnections where it was people would post to maybe hope to connect with somebody out in public, like, hey, to the woman in the red dress at the supermarket, I really liked your smile. If you remember me, send me a
It's
message.
like a super stalker.
Yes, it was really
Yeah,
weird.
I didn't remember
That's
that, but
creepy.
AL.com started out like that.
Really?
And
It
me and my
still is.
girlfriend were on there all the time. People talking trash about us. I'm serious.
Wait,
And she was like a straight A student.
Hold on.
On AL.com, they would open these chat rooms.
And they're
it would-
talking about you?
It would be like, Holly Pond sucks or something. And then you click on it, and it would have something
Why
about
would
me.
they
and it-
do that?
You know
have
he's
no
lying.
idea.
Nobody cared about Holly
I'm
Pond.
telling you, dude. I'm telling you.
They did.
Yeah,
They
it was
did.
like, like back then, today it would have been bullying. I could have figured out who it was. But back then, we just wanted to find out who it was and beat them up.
Well,
But
wait,
yeah,
so
they had
people would
chat
just
rooms.
get on a chat room and
Yeah,
just,
they on
just
AL.com.
trash you
Uh-huh,
and your
you could-
wife.
And it was not censored. Like you could
Oh,
actually
yeah.
cuss and whatever. They could say Jacob Gibbs.
And it's
is a-
totally anonymous.
yeah, anonymous.
Yeah, so it used to be. I remember there was a couple games. There was one in high school in football, and there was a couple in soccer where the administration pulled a few people into the office or whatever, and said, "Hey, these things have been posted on AL.com. Do you
I
guys
had
know
no
anything
idea
about this?"
Cheers. Yeah. We were on it. I was on there all the time. And I wasn't even like
I was
the
too dumb to
athletic
know about
guy.
it, so.
either. I wasn't even like,
That would have required you to type.
Yeah, I didn't do very good in Miss McPhillips's typing class. Didn't she teach?
Yeah, she did.
She did.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
did.
It's a great class. How could you not do good? You just follow the thing.
And then once
I
you
didn't
got
go
done,
fast enough.
Wait,
just-
okay.
once you got done,
I'm-
then you
I'm
got
a
to play
picker.
Snake.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
did
You
play
got to
Snake.
play Snake.
Yeah.
Frogger.
Yeah. Not Frogger.
No, Oregon Trails, the greatest.
Horse racing. I always liked horse racing too. On those big floppy disks. Is that what y'all talking about? Yeah. Yes, I remember that.
You had to go to the librarian and be like, "Can I get Oregon Trails?" Yeah. Go back, stick it in, load it up. Then you get on the internet. They
Did we
had
even
that
have internet?
dial-up
We didn't
sound.
have internet back then.
did it.
There was
Coleman. Didn't at the high school did we have internet?
Oh, at the high school, you
Oh,
were
at the high
playing
school,
Oregon Trail, Jared.
Yes, you could play
That
Oregon
was
Trails in high
way-
You
school.
were playing
What?
Oregon Trail in high school?
Were you in the
That was
remedial?
elementary school.
What sort of remedial school class were you in playing
was-
Oregon
I
Trail
was-
in high school?
That
I was in the
elementary
short bus
school.
class, okay? And KK
There's nothing-
Jones had that kind of cool games on her computer, so I got to play cool stuff. Y'all are just jealous.
I had no idea. I thought we were talking about elementary school when we
Yeah.
played Oregon Trail.
Like,
Yeah.
Oregon Trail
But
is
then
like
in high
sixth
school, they
grade or
had the
something, huh?
game there on those computers too.
that's like the Apple IIe days.
Look, just
Yeah.
go back and Google my grades
remember the
in high
dial-up
school. You'll
sound?
understand that I didn't do anything except play games.
Oh, man.
So with the dial-up, you remember how you could
Yeah.
like order? I want to get AOL, and you get like a 2.5-inch disc or whatever.
Yeah.
and they would send it to you. So there was a guy that I worked with one time. He goes, "We used to go and order as many of those as we could just because we wanted the disc." And I'm like, that's a great way to
Oh,
scam
free
out.
discs.
Yeah, that's a great way
free
because they
just use them.
Yeah, because I mean,
Reuse
at
them.
that time,
Discs
those discs
were-
they probably cost at least $1 a piece.
They were used
But that
probably.
was
So-
a lot back then.
And
yeah.
he was like, "Yeah, we used to like take them every other day we would like call up AOL and be like, hey, this one doesn't work. Can you send us another one?
They would send out another
Yes.
disc.
So
And they were
y'all-
reusable. You just had to flick the little switch,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I don't remember. Couldn't remember that part, but now I do.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
Because the
there's a
little
little-
bitty ones
that-
now have that too, where you can lock it
do.
or unlock.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot about that on that. Yeah.
Yep.
That computer was
cool.
about the size of this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm happy our,
first
our,
one,
our
yeah.
audience age group is not young.
No, it's
They
old
wouldn't know
people.
anything we were talking about right now.
We don't reach the young
We
ones.
need to play the dial-up noise to
Oh,
Tony
yeah, I wish I had that.
and see if he
He'd
knows.
freak out. He
He'd
wouldn't.
be like, "That's some
You think it'd be
broadcast
countdown
system?"
to something going on bad gonna happen? Oh my God!
The drones in New
Yeah.
Jersey.
I feel like, maybe if they played that dial-up noise on some loudspeakers, the drones would all just fall out of the sky.
That's
They
it.
would.
I mean,
Yeah.
they would. That's some kind
They
of
would.
matrix stuff, right?
Yeah.
Electromagnetic.
They're all flying
And the
around
worst thing
each
is,
other, too.
if you ever wanted to get on it late at night and you didn't want your parents to know, you couldn't do it. Because as soon as you try to do the dial up, they'd hear it. And that or they go to pick up
Wake
the phone
everybody up.
to make a phone call. And you can hear on the phone line.
Those were the good old days, though. Really,
Yeah.
I'm kind of
yeah.
glad I lived in when
early
the cell phone came
era.
Because I can say I've used the cell phone, but I remember not having
Not
it.
having it.
Yeah, all of us can say that.
Yeah,
It's
we
kinda
did
cool
not
'cause-
have a cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone in high school.
No.
And so, when we would go meet up with somebody, I'd be like, I'm going to meet you here at, say,
The parking lot.
Yeah.
the
meet at the
parking lot.
parking lot.
Meet at
That's
the
how
And
you
parking
I'll
figured
be
out what
there. I'll
everybody
be
was
there
doing.
at some point.
Yeah.
And then, either you wait and you leave, but you're not going to, there's no way to capture people. And I think our kids are the exact opposite. And parents too. Parents are kind of weird about, I want to know exactly where my kid is. I want to be able to look at what they're looking at. And it's kind of a weird concept
It's scary
when you
really,
start to
if
think
you
about it.
Yeah.
I mean, because we're not going to let them go live and experience some of the things that we did and make some mistakes that we did as well. And so they're going to get into situations where they don't know what to do.
Right,
they don't know.
Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
I went kind of deep there.
No, I'll tell
No,
you
that's
this,
good. That's
Brian.
good.
It's
That's good. That's
interesting
really good.
because I thought this was kind of weird. This has happened to me before. I don't know if I'm saying this, it says something about my parenting skills, but we would have people spend the night with, my older son. He'd have friends over, several friends, maybe 4 or 5 friends would come over. And, with cell phones, the kids are in contact with their parents. Used to, there was a lot more parent-to-parent contact.
Yeah.
Now kids would come over and the next day, just some of them would just be gone. I'm
Some
like,
of them you
well,
don't even meet their
well,
parents.
yeah.
They
They
drop
just
them off.
They do.
disappear.
Yeah.
They do. They're just gone. I'm like, well, what happened to what's his name? Oh, his mom just came by and picked him up. I was like, okay, I hope it was her. I mean, it's like Jacob said. We've had people too that'll just literally drop their kid off and go. We had no contact with.
That's
whatsoever.
so weird.
Yeah.
I always feel like if somebody's going to be taking care of my son,
You wanna
and
know who
I
they
want to
are.
know who they are. At least meet them,
That's
shake
what
their
I
hand,
think.
make sure they're
Yeah.
not a psychopath, or at least
As
look
best
like
you
a
can tell.
psychopath.
Yeah. As far as I can tell, this person may not be a psychopath.
Yeah, there's no meth cookers in the back.
Apparently, some people are not worried about that.
I'm just imagining
My kids know their way around a meth lab, so they're pretty good.
My kids' friends,
my
parents are like, this dude looks like Joe Dirt. I'm imagining. They're gonna be like, yeah, just drop Savannah off at Joe Dirt's.
They're going to this guy's house.
God,
Gonna light some homemade fireworks later.
yeah. That's funny. I watched that in the RV at the hunting club Saturday night.
Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt. I love
That
Joe
movie,
Dirt.
I do too.
It's
That movie
stinking
don't get old.
hilarious.
And no, I watch every time
So
I'm
funny.
not going to just go rent it and watch it or nothing. But if I
If it
catch
comes
it
on.
I'm on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, guys. Brian Bostick, good to have you in, man.
The one,
Former
the only.
Alabama kicker and so much more. Maybe a spy.
2000
Jason
most
Bourne
athletic.
level.
And
Class of
absolutely.
2000, most athletic, and a lot
Not
of other
really.
things. Great guy. Super glad to have you in. You've been watching Happy Neighbors. I'm Michael Sapp, and I've been here with
Jared Giddens.
Brian Bostick.
Jacob Gibbs.
That was better.
It was a lot better.
Yeah, appreciate that.
It was me that time that goes thick.
Sort of halted
You're not
there.
the first one. Won't be the last either, probably.